Hello and welcome to Do Go On. You can hear Jess Perkins. So this episode's going to be very funny because she's already laughing before we've even said anything. My name is Dave Warnocky. Did I say it's called Do Go On? I hope I did. You've already heard Jess's laugh. I'm here with her. Hello, Jess.
Hello, Dave.
How are you?
Very depressed.
Trying to convince yourself to have a good time.
Yeah.
For laughing. And we're also joined by, not laughing so much, a bit of a tough cookie to crack. It's Matt Stewart.
Look, to be honest, we're in a serious business here. And the business is podcasting.
That's right. And we're all very rich.
Yeah.
There's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake.
Yeah.
My word, there is.
Oh, you must.
I just had a can of pumpkin soup for dinner. That's how well I'm doing.
And some very buttery toast.
Oh, man, I've been craving butter all day. So before the pod, I bought a can of soup, bought a loaf of bread, bought a packet of butter and put half that packet onto 2 pieces of toast.
It was confronting to watch, but also like strangely satisfying. And then after soup, I always feel like a bit of a dessert kind
That's
of
right.
treat.
Yeah,
Did you have a little treat, Dave?
A little $2 supermarket chocolate mousse,
All right.
which is as delicious as it sounds.
I noticed you didn't bring any for us, which is
That
interesting.
is interesting.
There is an extra one in the... Do you guys want food? There is an extra one in the fridge if you want to fight over it.
I
That's
kind of
fine.
just assumed you didn't get us one because we're both adults. And,
Well, yes. That
He is the
definitely
youngest here.
Thank
still,
you.
just to paint a little picture for our listeners, little Davey Warnocky's still got mousse all over his face.
It's all around my mouth. Saving that for later.
You had a good time.
I could never finish a whole mousse at once, but I'm not going to put it back in the fridge. I just leave it on my face.
It's a good way to do it.
It's my style
Very
of eating.
efficient.
But how are you guys? What have you had for dinner? Let's go around the table.
I have not had dinner,
Okay, so
There we go. Who's
Matt's
the adult now?
That's even less successful than I am.
but very adult.
And I had a frozen pizza that I put in the oven.
Oh, cooking in a way.
Yeah, in a way, because I got home and had to finish this report and was like, I need something that I don't have to tend to while it
Well,
cooks.
let me ask you one question. That pizza, what's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour. What's your flavour? Remember that song, Matt?
Yeah, Craig David.
Is it Craig
It's
David?
from his unsuccessful follow-up album after his smash hit that included
Walking
Walking
Away.
Away.
Seven-
Yeah.
and 7 days.
Away. Which one's 7 days?
Some fun
Monday.
Oh, I was
Took her for a
Sometimes
drink on
Tuesday.
We
We were making love by Wednesday. And on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we chill on Sunday. You gotta have a rest day.
Gotta have a rest day.
Can't
Thanks,
be-
Craig.
Can't
Craig.
be banging every day.
Craig's a pretty good name.
Craig.
Remember last week you had an issue with King Stephen. What about King Craig?
Yuck.
Oh, couldn't be a King Craig.
And also, like, Americans would say, like, Craig. King
King
Craig.
You know
Yuck.
King Craig. You
Craig.
know how that album that we're talking about is like 15 years ago? He's only like 33 or something now. He was really
He
young.
was a wonder kind.
He really was.
Was
When-
he really young?
When he was walking away, he was walking away in nappies.
He was a walking away protege.
Troubles in my
I thought you
life.
were the rhymer on the show.
What kind of
I
troubles
just
do you
nailed
have
that.
then?
Oh, come on. Sounds laughter for the walking away protege. Well, I
problem there
just
was-
about give up, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Matt, you didn't let it breathe. You said, walk away protege. I am the best. But you can't finish the joke.
I mean, am I wrong?
Walk away, protege. Shoot it. Shoot it.
Start
Shoot it.
start
All
your own
right, mate.
chant. Matt, I didn't even hear what you said because you're suddenly chanting.
I am the best. Can we just say that after every joke today? I am the best.
I feel I'm going to be saying that after a few of mine bomb, as they often do.
Well,
Hey.
I appreciate that you guys thought it was a joke anyway. I mean, really all I did was rhyme a couple of vaguely
Not
related
even.
words.
We need to work on rhyming with you.
Protege walking away. I stand by it.
Yeah, all right. It's not
Well, this
bad.
has been a rock solid start.
Well, we don't usually talk this much about chocolate mousse or
Or
Craig
Craig
David.
We should talk about both of those things more.
What we usually do is let one of us take over and do a report. God, I hope it's about Craig David.
Oh, that'd be great. What a segue.
Jess, it is your turn to do a report this week.
It is my turn, and I have delved into the hat.
Yes.
Matt took off the hat momentarily. You jumped in there, grabbed a topic at random.
You got to be quick.
Man, I love the hat so much.
Yeah, the hat's pretty great, and it's fun to choose them. You know, you're sort of like, oh, am I going to do that? Oh, what am I going to do?
Did you hand pick or random pick out of the hat?
I had a look at a couple, and then I did a really quick Google search of this one because I hadn't heard of it. And like within a few seconds, I was like, oh, yeah, we're doing this.
This is it.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That means that it's from the get-go, it's a good.
That said, it's a darker topic, and you guys are really going to have to lift your comedic game to make this,
Okay.
to make our listeners not feel very sad at the
Oh,
end.
God.
Challenge not accepted.
Oh, great. Oh, you're right. I'm the funny one.
That's right.
Shit.
How's this going to work?
It's all right. I've written jokes in there. in my
Mate, look,
report.
I'll see if I can put some rhymes together.
Yeah, okay, great.
Does the end of every paragraph just have pause for laughter written at the end of your report?
Hold for applause.
Hold for
That's
applause.
all right. Hold for applause.
And 3, 4. Second bow now.
Anyway,
Please do go on to start your report, which I assume you have a question.
I do
Not
have-
breaking protocol 36 weeks in.
no, never. I do have a question, and
Does
it's
it relate to the topic?
Nah, it's just what's your favourite
Well,
colour?
that would break protocol.
Green.
Okay,
Blue.
I'm a blue as well.
No.
Yes.
You guys always gang up on me. Although you can't make green without blue, so suck a dick.
What to yourself?
You can't make
What a weird... I don't fully get why that is like a mean thing to say.
suck a dick.
More than half of the world enjoy doing that. I would if I could. Oh, hang on.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right now.
So,
Well,
look,
Matt's on one.
So my question,
Dark topic.
dark topic. My question is, who was America's original serial killer?
I'm just thinking of that Bad Offspring song, Original Prankster.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Originals, like original serial killer.
original, alright. Original serial...
let's
Oh, look,
name-
I
let's-
can't
the
forget...
I had never heard of
The
him.
guy with the...
Jack the Ripper, but that's English.
That's
No, it's
English.
England. The guy, I think Charles Manson?
That was much
It's
later.
more of a mass
So
murderer
earlier
than
than Charles Manson.
Yeah, we're talking like 1800s.
Adnan Syed, allegedly. Oh no, he's been convicted.
And that wasn't
was
serial.
just one murder.
Oh, that was serial, but
Oh,
not
eh?
serial.
I didn't ever get my own joke there. Can we call that one a joke?
Yeah.
2 jokes.
Two
so
jokes.
far.
2 jokes and one embarrassing.
Oh, well, it's embarrassing. That's an interesting comment, you homophobe.
No, the one where you said you wish you were able to suck, like you're not able to.
All right, good.
There's nothing homophobic about what I'm saying.
Dave is backpedaling pretty briskly over there.
Much like a homophobe would.
It is a little weird that he's on an exercise bike in the
Well,
studio. But
You got to make time for these things.
That's right. I'm multitasking.
I'm on a yoga ball.
Nothing.
Sans laughter.
I am the best.
what is happening today?
Okay.
All right, back to
Serial
serial killers.
killers.
Serial killers. All right, serial killers.
Look, I had never heard of him.
Okay.
So it's a him.
Is this someone who I remember vaguely had like a hotel where they killed people?
Yes.
Oh.
Correct.
But I know no other details. I think it might have been like a Ripley's Believe It or Nuts type thing. That's how it.
That
like
is-
a little fact about someone who allegedly killed a lot of people.
Yeah, that is absolutely bang on.
Oh my
well
goodness.
done. Now, this was suggested to us by Cody Clark
Cody Clark, you morbid bastard.
at Cody
great name, Cody
C095
Clark.
on Twitter.
Also, what's the Twitter?
At Cody C095.
Cody. says-
Cody, if you were born in 95, that's my guess. Anyway,
If you are, that's my guess. If you're not,
or if
That's
you're
it.
95 years old, congratulations on being good at Twitter.
I saw someone driving around, and their number plate was like GS or 2 initials, and then it said 1924.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, no, it said it was earlier than that. It was like 20 or something. So it was very similar to 24, but 4 years older. And then I looked at the person in the car, and they were definitely that old enough.
Oh, wow,
to
okay, yeah,
claim.
cool.
So 96-year-old driver.
Jeez, Louise, don't do that every day, do you?
Yeah.
Tell you what.
wish you did.
Nah, take their licenses away, I reckon.
Wow. So thank you to Cody for the suggestion, of course. But so it is as morbid as it sounds, a serial killer.
Yeah,
topic.
it's fascinating, but really sick and twisted as well. And what's kind of interesting is that there is a lot of information, and there also isn't a lot of information about this person, right? So
all right. Well, one of those
What?
things is not true.
no, but you know what I mean. Like there's
No, I don't.
okay. Well, like there's still a lot of questions. There's a lot of points in this where you're going to ask me a question, and I'm going to go, I don't know.
What's his favorite color?
Blood.
Black. Oh, I would say
That's definitely not a color.
Oh, come on.
blood red.
Just give me that one.
Okay.
Come on.
What about
Right.
I feel like that maybe you're just covering your tracks for
Lack of
not
research.
enough research.
Look, that could
I don't
be it
know.
as well.
No one knows what this guy's name was.
Okay, well that's not true. But what I mean, and you'll understand as we go along, but there's so many points where you're like, why did nobody twig? How did this happen?
Their first serial killer, and they're as a country, what are they, like 400 years old?
So he's listed as one of the first sort of serial killers in the modern understanding of the word serial killer.
So was it highly publicised, that kind of definition?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly right. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. So his name.
Oh, will there be a body count on this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Because, man, we've done that for King Tut and for Bonnie and Clyde now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That trilogy of body counts.
All right, you can body count, so that's fun. His name was HH Holmes. Okay,
Triple H.
but he was actually born
Ah,
As-
wrestler.
Herman Webster Mudgett.
Whoa.
I think I get the
Yeah.
change of name.
Are you
Mudgett?
thinking...
Although I'm wondering why.
Don't point that pen in my
What
face.
is it?
Sorry,
Herman.
you pronounce HH.
Did I? H? HH.
Oh no
Oh,
no
no,
no.
no,
Oh
no.
no. Nah, fair enough. That's fine. Look, I've got no problems with that. We'll take every now and then. I'd like to take the opportunity to feel superior to you, and yeah, that.
Well, I'll be sure to let you speak.
I'd like to know the name again.
Herman Webster Mudgett.
And are you saying
There's a
that...
single H there.
Was this one of the times where someone should have twigged when they named someone that? They thought, oh, fuck, he's going to be a killer.
Okay, well, now I feel like you're just taking the piss, all right?
Oh,
Lots
no.
of people died,
Oh,
Dave.
no, I have a 200-year-old serial killer. He's the real victim here.
No,
Too soon.
And what year was too soon?
he was born on the 16th of May in 1861, okay, in New Hampshire. 1861 he was born. Now his parents were Levi Horton Mudgett and Theodate Page Price.
Theta, 3 cracking names.
Great names.
Can you just repeat those because they're so good?
Levi? These people never really come back into the story, but
These
Levi,
people definitely didn't exist.
Levi and Theodate.
Yeah, this is feeling very made up so far.
I made this whole thing up.
I've never said Levi. Obviously,
I'm
know that from Levi Strauss, but
Theodate.
Theodate.
I'm guessing that's how you say it.
And that's a woman.
Theodate. Yeah. So he was the third child. So he had an older sister named Ellen, an older brother named Arthur, and he had a younger brother named Henry. So they've all got fairly normal names. Herman. Now his father was a farmer from a farming family.
What did he farm?
First question. No one knows. Did you not hear the start?
I don't know, wheat and pigs, both of them.
What a combo.
Yeah, it's a great combo.
Must
Great
have had
combo.
How much land did he have?
A couple acres, couple
With-
of hundred,
Couple of acres?
couple of hundred acres.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
What could he have made? He could have, using his produce, Dave, what could he have put together?
Bacon, bread.
Great.
I'm really happy to eat bacon bread.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. Buddy, not wrong there.
He was a bacon bread farmer, and his parents were devout Methodists. Now, apparently, as well, his father was a violent alcoholic.
Oh, really?
Okay, so a bit of a troubling childhood,
I was really
as they
thinking-
always do.
I was thinking a lot of Levi, but then
Just for the genes.
the serial killer, they often do, like you say, have bad upbringings, don't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd think so, yeah. But apparently he was very good at school. He excelled at school. He was a really smart child. But then he got sort of bullied by jealous classmates because he was smart and because he excelled at school. So in an attempt to scare him, the bullies found out that he was scared of the doctors. He was scared of going to the doctor, so they forced him.
They booked him an appointment. Oh no! 1 p.m. with Dr. Schultz. Oh.
Check up, no!
Oh, the
My kryptonite!
They bought him private health insurance
Oh, I'll be there forever.
with regular checkups. No.
All right, I'm glad you guys are finding this funny.
You told us to try
I did,
and
I
make
did,
it
and
work.
thank you.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies.
Oh man, I'm hoping these bullies pay. But
Anyway,
so what did they do to
For
him?
the doctors. I think they will.
they broke into the doctor's office and they made him stand face to face with one of the human skeletons, like one of the display ones. You know, when you have a human on display. You know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
One of those skeletons. So they made him stand face to face
A
with that.
human one. Not one of the pig skeletons he's used to back home.
Yeah, he would have been fine with that.
And they even they placed the skeleton hands on his face and he creeped him out. But
I'm starting to think he's got less of a fear of doctors and more a fear of skeletons.
well, I mean, I'm sure that didn't help. And if he later admitted that was very frightening at first, but then he sort of found the experience really fascinating. And he said that cured him of his fears, and he soon became obsessed with death and later started a hobby of dissecting animals.
Whoa. So he's gone from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, it's fascinated him
Pretty
now.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh, actually.
It'd be pretty
And
disappointing.
then he grabbed the skeleton hand and slowly pushed it down his body, just down his stomach, slowly down, and down to his belly button. Keep going down, lower and lower. Oh, no, no, no. And then he loosen his belt a little, down and et cetera, et cetera.
I've got to say, it's a pretty disappointing time for a bully when you're like, yeah, and they're shitting themselves, and then 5 minutes in, they're like, oh, I love this.
They're making out with the skeleton.
They've mounted the skeleton. They're like, let's get out of here.
Now the bullies are scared.
Yeah. Oh, Herman's crazy.
The name like Herman. Sorry, any Hermans out there. Now, at the early age of 16, he graduated from high school and took teaching jobs in and around the area that he lived in New Hampshire. And
What sort of tutoring style things?
Well, it says took teaching jobs, so I think like a teacher in a school.
Wow.
Dave,
That was fast.
as far as asking questions about an interesting point, you were way off the mark there. Oh, tell me more about these.
What was he teaching?
Was he
Piano?
Well, that would have been
Murder?
an interesting question. What What is he like tutoring or what? Or was he just teaching in a classroom?
Did he have a textbook?
Fucking hell!
Probably.
Was he a member of the
If you're
Teachers
gonna-
Credit Union?
I don't know, Dave. Fucking hell.
Stop bogging Jess down with the bullshit, man.
Okay,
All right, I don't want to have to warn you again.
guys.
Teachers, tweet in if you want us to talk more about your profession.
Now, on July 4th in 1878, so he was born in 61? So he's like 17, 18?
17.
17. He married Clara Lovering in Alton. They got married.
Great name again.
Clara
Lovering.
Lovering is a pretty good name.
Is it spelled Lovering?
Lovering.
But is it
Great, really good. Good banter, you guys.
Lovering, right.
Lovering. What's your question?
Is it spelled Lovering, like Lovering?
Yes. Lovering.
That's a great name. Hey, if I had to pick a wife,
Look, I don't think we've spent enough time on this.
Would you say lovering or lovering?
one question: was she also a teacher, and what was she teaching?
I hate you. So they got married, and then they had a son
Oh, born to be a teacher.
in 1880, right?
Oh, so imagine,
A little bit later.
you've got a dad.
Yeah,
And
imagine
he
that.
I mean, imagine, but then also, on top of that, he kills people
Okay, well,
for
he
a
doesn't.
living.
He doesn't yet.
Is
Shut
that his
up. He's a
job?
teacher.
Okay, sorry. I
For
see
a
he teaches
teacher.
people.
For a living.
So he teaches people
That's
for a living.
fine. There's no shame in your dad
Same
being a
bloody
teacher.
difference.
Kills their souls.
My dad's a teacher.
So's mine.
And I'm very proud of him. On your dad.
We haven't discussed dad's names. What's your dad's name?
Paul.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have picked that at all.
What would you
Paul.
have guessed? Oh,
Paul.
What would you have guessed?
what would you have guessed?
The man I've never met's more of a Gavin to me.
I would have said like a David.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, what's your
I
dad's
put
name?
David and Paul in the same
All
word.
right, both have a crack at my dad's name.
Your
before I-
dad's name. Oh,
Yep.
fuck. I think I know this too, actually.
Gary.
No.
No, I've got an uncle called Gary. It's very good.
A Warnocky.
I feel
No.
like you've said this kind of recently, and I should know it.
Jules.
As soon as you say it, I'm going to know it.
Jules Warnocky.
Give
is
us a first
cracker.
letter.
Greg.
M.
Martin.
Malcolm.
Martin is
Yeah,
correct.
You have said it.
Martin Warnocky.
All right, have a go at mine.
Letter.
He's a fuckhead. You see, I purposely
Oh, have a
misunderstood what
go.
you said.
There we go.
For humour.
Jim.
Now we're all having fun.
Close.
Jim Perkins.
Not close, but yeah.
John.
Kim.
John. Bang. There we go.
John
Fuck,
Perkins.
you guys are good at this, and I
Yeah.
suck.
But I would never have guessed Paul. Well played. Anyway, so now we've talked about our dad's names.
Well played, grandparents.
Now, at the age of 18, this is before his son was born, so just shortly after getting married, he enrolled in the University of Vermont.
Hey, before you go on, text in your dad's names.
1-800-DAD.
Actually, yes, please do. Hashtag dad. Hashtag
No, is he...
Dad's name. Hashtag.
Jeez, you used to be really good at the hashtags.
I'll
You've
get
got
there.
horrible.
Hashtag my
name.
dad's name is. There we go. There it is.
Very clever. I love
my-
the multiple meanings that you normally do.
Text in hashtag... No, let's solidify that. My dad's name is... No apostrophe. We'll forgive you.
Yeah, great.
You'll rule the hashtag.
Okay, can I move on, please? Please.
Oh, last week was our loose episode, but this week is fucking crazy.
100% gold. I regret
Yeah,
nothing
that's what I
I've
mean.
said so far.
So far.
This is our jumping the shark episode.
Hey.
Jumping the dad.
There it is. Hashtag jumping the dad.
Yep. All right. Happy with that.
Okay. So when he was 18, he enrolls in university, but he's not that happy with the school, so he left.
Because he was like, I'm already a teacher. Why am I here?
I don't need university. So he left after a year, and then a couple of years later, in 1882, he entered the University of Michigan's Department of Medicine and Surgery and graduated in June 84 after passing his examination. So he's a doctor. And also, he only studied for 2 years and he's a doctor.
2 short years. Wow.
Yeah. So he's
That's you don't realise that. But back in the 1800s, being a doctor was one of the least respected jobs.
what was the most?
most respected job?
Rat catcher.
Rat catcher.
Well,
Yeah, you actually had to do a 7-year course to become a rat catcher.
I've only got 1 year left.
Then I can catch all the rats.
I've always dreamed of having 17 rats.
Then they'll respect me.
I'll show them all.
But imagine,
I'll show them all.
imagine if he had 16 rats and then he accidentally caught 2. And he's like,
Oh.
no!
He's
You'd have to kill one of them.
I'll have to kill them all and start again. You know, they know the rules. Whoa. You might as well hit skip on your on the iPod. But just a minute of Jess laughing.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. They know the rules. Because the rats were all like, nah, fair enough.
No. Fair enough. Chop our heads off.
I think Jess's laugh broke the
Sorry.
Broke the internet.
Kim
Look at that
Kardashian's
bit.
ass and Jess's laugh. Oh boy.
Sorry.
No, it's funny. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good one.
Remember how we're like, no, we're not going to fuck around in this one.
Oh dear.
Oh, that
What has
hurt.
happened to
I was
us?
going to throw up. You know what? Like, we're listening back, it won't even be that funny.
Oh, I think it might be. Especially when you hear yourself laughing for a minute. I think you'll laugh.
We know the rules. It's just, you can picture it with a little head rat pulls off his little hat and he sort of holds his chest.
Yeah.
It's been an honour being in the sack with you, Governor.
Yeah.
Shall we do it? Well, no, do it. Don't take your time.
on.
Here let us have it.
Throw us in the lake.
We knew the deal when we got into this caper. And this sack.
Rats.
How do we get to rat sacks?
Rat catcher. Catching rats.
Rat
Right,
catcher. A
right.
noble profession. Of course, that's how we got here.
Anyway,
So he was a doctor.
he's a doctor.
HH Holmes.
Now, while enrolled in medical school, he stole cadavers from the lab.
Oh, God.
He disfigured the bodies and claimed that the victims were killed accidentally in order to collect insurance money from policies he took out on each of the deceased people.
But weren't they like, he's already dead?
Yeah, but he would take out an insurance policy. This is what I mean when I say there's questions.
I suppose that records are obviously a lot less well kept.
Yeah.
Like, so he would just...
So he'd take out a life insurance policy.
and then would he just drive into the place with the body and be like, look, another one.
I don't know. I don't understand how he got away with it. but it worked. So he would just claim insurance money on these bodies. He would disfigure them so it looked like they'd had some horrible accident.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when he got to them, maybe they weren't officially dead yet. I mean, he's the doctor. Maybe they've come in sick.
No, they're already cadavers.
But is that the
Cadavers.
So it's like
Great word.
It is a good word.
It's like a med school. Is that what you were saying? They were
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the university or whatever.
Right, yeah, okay.
So they like donated their body to science. So they're dead.
Well, that's very confusing.
It's so confusing.
Maybe he drew a mustache on them and said they were
Somebody
their twins.
else? Yeah. I don't know. That's what I mean when I say
Oh, there was a
there's
mix-up.
questions.
You thought they were dead, but they were actually alive, but now they're dead again.
Yeah,
Can I have the money?
please.
Because for some
Yeah, because
reason,
you said
me, a
please.
stranger to them,
I know.
took out insurance.
That's what I mean. It's so
And
strange.
this, like, you're gathering you did this a few
A
times.
couple of times, yeah, it
Wow.
worked. And so this is like the beginning of Captain Crazy.
As he shall now be known.
Captain Crazy. Now, weirdly, his marriage to Clara quickly fell apart. Which is strange, isn't it?
Really?
Because he seems like a really balanced person.
Yeah.
Just
and
after he ripped her throat out while she slept.
No, luckily she lived. So he eventually abandoned his wife and son, and he spent the next couple of years working various jobs and continuing with his scams. He kind of moved around the country a little bit, which was very strange. He moved
Still
to...
doing these, like, sort of dodgy sort of things, you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, and he moved to New York, and a rumor began spreading that Holmes was seen with a little boy who later disappeared, and he claimed that the boy went back to his home in Massachusetts, but no investigation took place, and he sort of left town. So
Wow, it's like quite a dodgy time.
yeah, it's really strange, and he later travelled to. Sorry, Matt. Question.
Is his name? His name's Holmes. I missed that. His
he-
surname's Holmes.
He changes
Oh, yeah, so
his
when
name.
when did he become...
I'm actually not 100% sure. Oh no, sorry.
Is it because of
right
all the-
now?
As of
It's in
now...
the next sentence.
It's funny because I was thinking.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was referring to him as Holmes.
He
but
sounds a little bit. Already, the story made me think of that other doctor that Dave talked about a few weeks ago, who went on to write the story of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, Arthur
Yeah.
Conan Doyle.
They were both in the olden days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both
Both
became
born in
doctors.
the 19th century.
Yeah.
Both had something to do with someone with the surname Holmes. Any questions?
One solved murders, one committed them.
All I'm asking is, please do go on.
Thank you.
Well, they must be the same person.
He later travelled to Philadelphia, where he got a position at a drugstore. And when he was working there, a boy died from taking medicine that was bought from the store. And he, because his name isn't Holmes yet, Herman, denied any involvement with the child's death and immediately left the city. And right before moving to Chicago, he decided to change his name to Henry Howard Holmes to avoid the possibility of his previous scam victims catching up and reporting him. So now he is Holmes. So I'm sorry I was referring to him as that before, but now, moving to Chicago, he's now Henry Howard Holmes.
The victims of his scams, who were
Actually,
they?
his
The dead
brother's
people?
name was Henry. He stole his brother's name.
That is right. That's
That's
a weird
weird.
one.
Sorry, Matt, what were you saying?
Who were the victims of his scams?
Well, like the boy who died taking medicine. I think he'd been there'd been some more insurance fraud.
Yeah, the
Cases.
cadavers, possibly this kid in New York City. So there's just a bunch of weird crimes attached to
Yeah,
So he's escaping the cops.
yeah. Well, he's not.
And the
it doesn't
insurance
seem like-
companies, I imagine.
It doesn't seem like just yet he's being sought after by the police. He's just kind of like, I think maybe he would leave when people started to be a little suspicious of him. When he got that feeling, he'd bail. So now he's headed for Chicago, and he arrives in Chicago in August of 1886, and he came across Elizabeth Holton's drugstore at the northwest corner of South Wallace Avenue and West 63rd Street, and she gave him a job, and he proved himself to be a hardworking employee, and they seemed to get along quite well. And after her husband died, Holmes
Oh, God.
offered to...
Every death feels suspicious to me.
Yeah, you
Well,
say
he-
someone dies and you're like, oh no.
Well, he wasn't really part of the drugstore, so she was his employer. So I think he may have died of his of natural causes. Anyway,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Holmes offers to buy the drugstore from her, and she agrees. She's like, "Yep, fine." But then she's never seen or heard from again.
Oh.
And whenever any regular customers asked Holmes about her whereabouts after she'd sold the drugstore to him, he'd say that she'd moved to California to be close to relatives. But she was never heard of again.
Oh, she must have really, just really liked the quiet life with her relatives in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, and
Must
just
have just spent her days at the beach.
cut all ties from her life in Chicago.
Jeez, what a life, hey?
Yeah.
What a lucky lady.
Lucky that he came about and bought the drugstore.
Yeah,
from
gave her the money to retire. He really is
amazing.
quite a citizen.
I wonder when he's going to turn. 'Cause obviously, at some point he becomes a bad guy, but bloody hell.
Well, for now, there's
I'm
nothing.
into him.
There's nothing but ticks
So
on that
far,
page.
yeah.
So far, so good. So he'd arrived in Chicago in 1886, and in 1887, he married Myrta Belknap.
Jess, if you want us to believe this, you're going to have to, at least give us...
Her name was...
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Right, so he hadn't even yet divorced Clara.
Love ring.
He filed for divorce a few weeks after marrying Myrta, but the papers never went through. So he's technically married to both of them.
Oh, and if that's his biggest crime,
The crime of loving too much.
Jess, you're really trying to bring this great man down.
You're going to regret that so bad.
Am I really?
Oh, Jess, is that a threat?
Yeah. Whoa, who's the serial killer here?
So now, a couple of years later, he purchased an empty lot across the road from the drugstore, and he built a 3-story, block-long hotel building. And because of its enormous structure, local people dubbed it the Castle. And the building was 162 feet long and 50 feet wide. Right, so it's pretty big. It's a pretty big building, 3 stories. The ground floor of the castle contained Holmes's own relocated drugstore. He moved the drugstore across the road into a new location, and it had other shops in it. There was a jewelry store and a couple of other little shops. I'm not really sure.
Did
exactly
he own
what they
those or
were.
just sort of rent those out?
I think he rented them out. So he sort of rented out those spaces. And the upper 2 floors contained his personal office and a labyrinth of rooms with doorways that opened to brick walls,
Rooms with doorway. Okay, yeah, that bit.
oddly angled hallways, stairways leading nowhere, doors that could only be opened from the outside, and a host of other strange and deceptive constructions.
Oh,
so was
my
it a hotel or
God.
not? Could you stay there?
Yes. It seems like it was more the case that
It appears my room is a brick wall.
it seems like
I'm afraid it's non-refundable.
he sort of had tenants rather than a lot of guests.
Right, okay, sure.
But yeah, it was a hotel, so you could stay there. Now, he was apparently constantly firing and hiring different workers during the construction of the castle, claiming that they were doing incompetent work. But his actual reason was to ensure that he was the only one to fully understand the design of the building.
Ah, well, that does make sense. If you have different builders,
Yeah, they only see part of it.
they never know the full plan.
They never know exactly what's going on.
I haven't felt this creeped out in a long
And
time.
I'm glad we're recording this at night. So that's good. Now, during...
Oh, in a castle-shaped hotel room. I'm terrified.
Castle shaped.
Yeah. It's quite a big hotel room.
Yeah. It's shaped like a castle.
Yeah, it's the castle themed.
I'm in the dome right now. Our castle has a dome.
I'm in the moat.
Where are you, Pat?
Where are you, Dad? Did you say that? Where are you, Dad? I swear you said.
I went to
Where are
say
you, Dad?
Dave.
Where are you, Dad? Matt. Like when you...
Where are you, Dad?
Dad.
Scared.
Dad.
I am
Dad.
in the broom closet. The castle broom closet,
We're in
though.
the castle, and
Yeah,
you
you
chose
would
the
be.
broom closet.
Oh.
Okay, now during the period of building construction in 1889, Holmes met and became close friends with a guy called Benjamin Peetzel. It looks
Where
like
did you
pretzel.
research this?
It could be Pitzel.
It feels like
Pitzel. Pitzel.
the letters have
No.
been scrambled on all these words that you're trying to
I'm
say.
dyslexic. Anyway,
Peetzel is...
so it's Pitzel. Pitzel.
It's like Peitzel.
Pitzel?
Everyone involved in this case.
Let's decide how we want to pronounce it. Pretzel. Let's just call him Pretzel.
Right. Benjamin
Okay,
Pretzel.
Benjamin Pretzel. He was a carpenter with a
Can
criminal
we
past.
call him Peter Pretzel? That feels
No,
better.
we'll just
Okay.
call him Pretzel.
All right, great.
He used Pretzel as his right-hand man for his criminal schemes.
So, and I don't think, Matt, did you hear that he's a builder with a dodgy past? Criminal past.
Oh, someone you might see on like a current affair or something.
Yeah, dodgy
yeah.
builders.
Yeah, he's definitely like they're chasing him down the street like, why didn't you finish the job?
No comment.
Yeah,
No, yeah, which
Perfect.
somehow makes you sound more guilty than if you said, I killed them all!
exactly. So Pretzel comes up in this story of quite a bit. So after the completion of the hotel, it was all built. He selected mostly female victims from among his employees.
Okay, right, sorry. I feel like there should have been a full stop there. After the hotel was completed, he chose mainly female victims from his employees. Oh my God.
Many of whom were required as a condition of employment to take out life insurance policies. Who do you reckon may have paid for those premiums, but also be the beneficiary?
Why would
Any
you
ideas,
possibly
anybody?
do
Any
that?
ideas?
Is it Pretzel?
No. Next guess.
Is it
Myrtle Belknap?
It's Myrtle. No, it's Holmes.
Is it Gary Warnicky?
It's Gary Warnicky, Dave's uncle.
Dave's uncle, who had a name change.
Right, so he makes them take out life insurance policies. He
My-
pays
my-
the premium. He's like, I'll pay for your life insurance.
My new job has done the same thing. Should I be a bit worried?
Very interesting.
So some of these employees/victims, just as an idea, they were either locked in soundproof bedrooms fitted with gas lines that let him asphyxiate them at any time.
Asphyxiate. That sounds positive. What does that mean? If
Suffocate.
you've got an issue, he'll asphyxiate it.
Nope. Just take away all the oxygen if you've got too much of it.
Can't spell asphyxiate with that. Sphinx. I was going to say fix.
Well, that would have made more
That would've
sense. Sphinx was fun.
Sphinx is still fun. Okay, some
You
victims...
got a problem? I'll fix it. That was his motto.
That's on the billboard for the hotel.
He's got a billboard and he looks creepy. He's like holding a knife.
Which is weird because he kills people with other means.
Yeah. It was a red herring to make you feel safe. Oh, he'll never gas me. He's a knife murderer. Oh no! I can't breathe.
He'll never gas me. Oh, I'm glad you two are finding this so fun.
It's the only way to handle such a morbid topic.
It is. Other victims were locked in a huge soundproof bank vault near his office where they were left to suffocate.
Bank vault.
There's also a secret room
Yeah, that was the worst part there. Oh, big-
Doesn't it? They didn't take you to the bodies in the barrels? Well, that's a very recent one. That was a bank vault as well.
Oh, of course it was.
There was also a secret room that was completely sealed by solid brick that could only be entered through a trapdoor in the ceiling. And Holmes would lock his victims in this room for days to die of hunger and thirst. That one seems almost the most humane. He even
Really? I'd take the gas room for sure.
Would you?
You'd take like a week to die in the other one.
Oh,
Wait, what was I was?
gas.
Would you rather gas that would kill you in like 2 minutes, or the room where he leaves you to starve to death?
There's others. There's more coming if you want to choose at the end.
Can I pick life? I want to choose life.
Interesting
like
choice.
George Michael told me to.
He also, this is kind of interesting and super creepy. He also invented a unique alarm system and installed it to all the doors on the upper floor to alert him whenever anybody was walking around in the hotel.
Chubb security still use it to this day.
I'm not entirely sure how it worked. There wasn't a lot of information about his alarm system, but it seems like it was quite ahead of its time, obviously.
It's probably just all connected to one bell.
Yeah.
Everyone would be like, oh, every time I open a door, a bell rings.
Look,
It's weird.
it may have been that simple, I don't know. But he was aware when people were moving around on the top floor.
Why did he want to be aware?
I don't know, in case, like...
They found one of the rooms.
Well, because he would be aware of who's where, obviously. And then if he heard movement and he was like, no, there shouldn't be anybody up there, then he may know that somebody's snooping around.
Ah, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Raggy? The victims' bodies were put inside either a secret metal chute or a dummy elevator, which led to the basement, where some were meticulously dissected, stripped of flesh, crafted into skeleton models, then sold to medical schools.
Oh, so is he doing this for money, or is he, or a combination of craziness and
I
cash?
think it's a bit of column A, bit of column B. I think it's for
No,
the...
it's just for the money.
No. You know what? They
You know,
Just
like...
for the money,
the
Dave.
first
There's
time-
no way. He has no enjoyment of this. He's like, it's a job.
Yeah.
This is just a.
No, but
it's
you
a
know
gig.
what? Like...
I gotta strip him of skin, get him down to the bones, and sell it up. Look, we all have to make ends meet.
I think it's the opposite. I
I do a 50-hour week like every other man on this block, okay?
I think we all dream about, making money from our passion, and he gets to do that every day.
Wow. Oh
know?
my God.
Oh, this has become too real for me.
If podcasting
And
could be our full-time job, it's like stripping a body.
do you guys mind if I stop listening to Jess from now on?
Hey,
Do you want me to I'll turn my voice up in your ears.
Thank you.
but I also have to listen to Jess. I have to listen to Jess every day.
Oh man, this topic is fucked.
I'm sorry.
Thanks a lot, Cody.
Is it interesting fact? Like,
No, I'm enjoying
No, it definitely is interesting, but I'm starting to think like, why is this Cody guy so interested in it?
Because it's fascinating.
Why does he want us to talk about
Because
it?
it's fascinating.
I'm starting
Now he knows all how we think about it, and now he can use that against us when he brings us to his own hotel of mystery and death.
That's his
Is
whole
that where?
plan.
That's where my mind's going anyway.
I'm starting to think that this HH Holmes guy might not be as nice a guy as I originally
There
thought
we
and
go.
stated about 30 minutes ago.
There we go.
I'm starting to regret that statement completely.
Yes,
Good.
to be honest, with a bit of hindsight, I think it's starting to sound a little foolish.
To have said that.
Oh dear.
Oh, he did the pen lick. You're
You
fucked.
licked his pen.
Okay, so he's making them into skeleton models, but if you think about it,
Sorry. I thought he was doing. He's having like a fashion show, like little skeleton catwalk with the models going down. I've heard of stick thin models being.
But
this is
ridiculous.
All right. Sorry about all that. Definitely worth stopping you mid-sentence.
yeah, I appreciated that. But through the connections that he'd gained in medical school, he sold the skeletons and organs with little difficulty. No, that
What a
makes no
time.
sense. Why is he constantly turning up with another skeleton? Where did you get that organ from,
Guys,
Holmes?
I just found this one in the forest again.
You'll never believe it. Money, please.
You know what? This sounds like a real bloody brilliant time for small business.
Yeah, he
And I
was an
think that's what
entrepreneur.
that's what they say today. Small business finds it so tough because there's all this red tape. Like if you try and sell an organ or a skeleton,
Oh man, you're filling
Yeah.
out forms for weeks.
people are going to be there asking, "Oh, whose organs were these?"
Yeah.
etc.
Did they have work cover?
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to provide for my family. Honestly,
Who are having?
I'm really PO'd right now.
So just to answer this question, Jess. Is it going to get worse before it gets better?
Yep.
Oh no, Matt.
So he also buried some of the bodies in lime pits for disposal, which like breaks down the bodies. And he also had
No, he could have sold those. An idiot.
He had two giant furnaces, which he used to incinerate some of the bodies or evidence, as well
How
as
many bodies are there? If he's selling some, burying some, putting some in a chute, burning
Some in
others,
giant furnaces.
and
Giant
then
furnaces.
no one's questioning this.
He also has pits of corrosive acid and bottles of various poisons, and even a stretching rack. So he's a psycho. Now, one of
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, he's a now. Yeah, he is a. He's just starting to sound like a psycho. That stretching rack just put him over the edge.
Yeah, that's right. He just went to the next threshold.
Now, at one point, a young woman called Julia Smythe moved into the building. She was the wife of Ned Connor. So Ned and Julia have moved in.
Couple of normal names. Thank you, Jess.
Nice
Thank you.
people. I think, Ned was working at the pharmacy's jewellery counter, right? So, he was selling jewellery
Okay.
in one of the little shops in the building
At some sort of counter.
at a counter of some
Right.
kind.
Okay.
Now,
paint the picture.
Holmes began an affair with Julia Smythe. And after her husband Ned found out about the affair, he quit his job. He moved away. He left Julia and her daughter Pearl behind. And Julia gained custody of their daughter Pearl.
Oh no,
Remained
chose the wrong parents, Pearl.
Remained at the hotel, continuing her affair with Holmes.
Say what you like about this guy, but he bloody bet a few women, didn't he?
Yeah,
Well,
is this
he's-
his third wife?
He's a few women.
He's still currently married
Twice.
twice,
So two
but
women at
living
once.
with one of them.
Oh, so that's
Still.
when you say he continued the affair. He continued his affair.
His affair.
Right.
Okay, so in 1891, Julia told him that she was pregnant with his baby and demanded marriage, and he
What
agreed to
evil
marry her, but told her they could not have a child. He then suggested performing an abortion, and she agreed.
Okay.
And they planned it for Christmas Eve because that seems like a nice time to do it. But Holmes
Oh God.
murdered Julia by overdosing her with chloroform and later killed Pearl as well. When confronted by a tenant in the building who questioned the whereabouts of Julia and her daughter, Holmes said that they'd left for Iowa to attend a family wedding. They never came back, but no questions asked, apparently.
Great wedding. They had a ball. They got married. They got married. It's one of the spur of the moment things.
How this guy, like evil genius and stuff. I can't believe how many. Like he's making people fall in love with him and do like irrational things.
Yeah.
Letting a small businessman. I mean, he was a doctor, but
Well, he's wealthy. He must be pretty wealthy, so...
oh,
and he's obviously...
jeez.
He has to be quite charming. like to get away with all this. After Christmas, so after Julia's gone to a wedding.
Well, most people are like, wow, that's a weird time to get married.
Yeah, strange time, but I guess if everybody's already on holidays.
Plus, it's a little bit cheaper. I think those kind of days.
That was the kind of small talk they made.
Yeah.
Oh, it must have been, it was cheaper.
Probably cheaper.
Great value.
Yeah. So he hires a man named Charles Chappell to articulate Julia's skeleton. So basically turn her into one of the models. The skeleton.
Why does he have to
things.
hire someone to do that?
I don't know. Because I assume he was doing it himself. So he...
And is the other guy dodgy, or is this something he does non-dodgy?
I don't know. I don't know why he has this skill set.
Like, is he like a taxidermist for people and it's quite legal? Or is it something where it's
that's not a thing.
I'm also a serial killer.
But
Let's do it together.
someone's got to be able to do it. I imagine, a lot of those skeletons now are probably not even real, are they?
No.
But back then, they would have all just been...
Real, I suppose,
donated bodies. So someone must have had the skills to do it, right? Legally.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe this...
Yeah, they're from the university or
this
a
guy
museum or something, yeah.
Or maybe he's just about to become crazy man number 2.
Yeah. So he brings this guy, Charles Chappell, to the hotel. He introduces himself at this point as Henry Gordon, so it's another alias.
Who says Henry?
Holmes says,
right.
I'm Henry Gordon.
Chappell's going to die, I just realised.
No, but it's weird.
No.
I'm Henry Gordon, and his people saying in the hotel are like, no, you're not. Shut up. You're
Oh,
dead.
yeah, see, I don't... That's what I mean with these questions.
Is he still firing and hiring regularly? I mean, he's killing all his employees as well.
So there must be a pretty high turnover of staff. That's the thing. When people go missing, nobody asks any fucking questions.
Do you reckon he ever reads a resume or he just hires anyone?
Well, he had a thing for blonde women, so...
Jeez,
I'm creeping
that
myself
bullet.
out here.
Not only am I not blonde or a woman, I'm also alive well after he must have been dead. Phew.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm also not blonde, so we're okay. But I could dye my hair blonde. Oh, God. Okay.
Wait, Jess, how lonely are you?
He seems charming.
He must
I
be.
think I could change him. I could be the one that does get away.
Maybe you could kill... Maybe you could only kill every second weekend.
Yeah. Could just be a hobby. Anyway, so... He takes Henry Gordon now, takes Charles Chappell, shows him the body, and after some discussion they agree that Chappell would put the arms in a bag and take them home to articulate them, and Holmes would do the rest of the body. It's so gross.
What?
So he hires him again a couple of times, takes him to the same room. Another time it's to process a body of a man. The third job was for a body of another woman. And after Chappell finished the third skeleton, Holmes refused to pay the money he owed him due to some financial trouble. And so Chappell then refused to give Holmes back the skeleton and kept it inside his home. And it was later used as evidence, much, much later. So there's just a full skeleton in Charles Chappell's place.
That he's holding ransom.
Charles also sounds like he's asking very few questions.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know
third
how...
body in your basement? All right. As long as you can pay, right?
It's
yeah,
so
if you just
weird,
go
right?
past the 2 oversized furnaces.
Yeah. Don't take the second or third door on the left because that's just a brick wall.
The vat of acid. Was it acid? Lime. Etc. And some of the other things you mentioned. I'm really just trying to show you that I've been paying attention.
Now, a little bit later, I think it was about 1892, 1893. It'd be 1892. He's on a business trip in Boston. I don't know what kind of business. Entrepreneuring/murdering. He meets
Where's his business card? Entrepreneur/murderer.
He met a railroad heiress. Her name was Minnie Williams. And he introduced himself to her as Henry Gordon. So he's just got different names all the time. They started dating and then entered into a relationship. And although Holmes had to return to Chicago, he kept in touch with Minnie and sent her love letters. He's married also still at the same time. In February of 1893, she moved to Chicago and she contacted him and he offered her a job at the hotel as his personal stenographer. And she accepted. So now she's working for him. And they rekindled their relationship. And then he was able to persuade Minnie to transfer the deed to her property in Fort Worth, Texas, to a man named Alexander Bond. Who do we think Alexander Bond is? Another alias for Holmes, correct.
What? And who does she think Alexander Bond is?
Who knows? And
He is such... How convincing is this guy?
He must be.
they haven't even known each other long, and he's
Is there
like,
photos of this guy? Is he really good looking?
he's pretty good looking. Quite a mustache.
I don't think I want to see him.
No, you don't. But no, he doesn't look that murdery, though. You know how, like, Charles Manson looks fucking murdery? This guy sort of just looks like a normal person. But anyway, so...
Yeah, but a lot of the really successful ones do. They're like...
well, that's
like
how... I
even
suppose
modern
that's how you get away with it.
They like go to their kids' soccer practice and like
Yeah.
they're the coach and stuff like that.
They're
and
just
everyone's
normal
like,
people.
They're really normal.
My kid's soccer coach?
Billy!
Not Billy.
Right, so in April of 1893, so only a few months later, she did sign the bond, the property over to Alexander Bond, and then Holmes proposed to Williams. So he asked
Next to the furnace.
he asked her to marry him. He's already married twice and killed off a mistress, but he's going to get married again.
He got down on one knee behind her and then someone pushed her.
So he proposes, and then he says, hey, why don't you invite your sister Annie to come visit? So Annie Williams comes and visits them in Chicago, and they get along quite well. Holmes and his soon-to-be sister-in-law, they get along well. He gives her a tour of the hotel.
Great, maybe he's finally recovered. He's going to go good.
Now, while working in his office one day, Holmes asked Annie to go inside his office vault to get a file for him. While she was inside the vault, Holmes locked her inside and turned on the gas line that led to the vault, killing her. About the same time, Minnie Williams also vanished.
But then we're not sure what happened to Minnie.
Nah, but she probably just went to a wedding.
Oh, thank God.
In Ohio.
Yeah, she went and got married without him.
So he didn't even bother giving a story for her.
She's just vanished.
But
Well, we don't know. Well,
But did Alexander Bond get the deed?
yep.
Oh.
And not long after this, Holmes left Chicago. Now, where could he possibly go?
To Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, Texas, where he had inherited property.
Oh, that's convenient.
So convenient. There he sought to construct another castle, another hotel, along the lines of his Chicago one. But he abandoned this project, not really sure why, and he sort of continued to move throughout the United States and Canada. He moved around a fair bit. Another interesting fun point, he married Georgiana Yoke in 1894 in Denver, Colorado. So now he's got 3 wives.
3 wives and 2 dead mistresses.
2 dead mistresses. He's a busy man. Now, in July of 1894, he was arrested and briefly incarcerated for the first time for a horse swindle that ended in St. Louis.
Well, there's one crime that's going to bring down the greatest serial killer of all time. It's horse swindle.
Horse swindling.
I've stood idly by so far. Right, fair enough. You've killed and dismembered your wives and their daughters. Fine. But horse swindling, I draw the line.
An innocent horse.
Swindled again. Right.
Too soon.
I will not sit idly by and watch an innocent horse get swindled on the main street of Fort Worth. Not in this town, Sonny Jim, or whatever you're calling yourself this week.
No, that's right. I'm calling myself Sonny Jim.
All right, you're under arrest.
Sonny Jim. So for all that he got arrested for was horse swindle. Now, he was bailed out, but while he was in
The only
jail...
thing is he probably didn't even do that
So,
crime.
yeah, probably. While in jail, he struck up a conversation with a convicted train robber named Marion Hedgepeth.
Oh, no. Is it a woman?
No,
Oh, it's a Marion man.
Marion. Yeah, good point.
Oh, this is fun. That's John Wayne's real name.
Marion?
It's Marion.
Yeah, you'd change it to John, wouldn't you?
John Wayne? One of the biggest
Marion Wayne?
tough guys of the 20th century? Marion.
Anyway, so Marion's in prison serving a 25-year sentence. Now, Holmes starts chatting to him because he's concocted a plan to swindle an insurance company out of $10,000 by taking out a policy on himself and then faking his death.
So who's faking their death?
Holmes. This is an idea Holmes has had.
Cool.
And he's speaking to Hedgepeth, and he promises him a $500 commission in exchange for the name of a lawyer who could be trusted, like a dodgy lawyer. Surely
Right.
you're a crook, you're going to know a dodgy lawyer, and if you tell me the lawyer's name, I'll give you $500 when I pull off this $10,000 insurance heist, right? So Holmes is directed to a young attorney named Jephthah Howe.
Come on, Jess.
Seriously, I coughed these names.
Jephthah.
Jephthah.
How do you spell Jephthah?
Jephthah.
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 Oh, come on. come.
Jephthah. Okay. Now Jephthah.
She's treating us like absolute mugs, Dave.
I feel like a bloody idiot.
Jephthah. Jephthah thought Holmes's plan was brilliant. He's like, that's a great idea.
Of course he bloody did. He's Jephthah.
Unfortunately, though, Holmes's plan to fake his own death failed when the insurance company became suspicious and refused to pay out. So he didn't press the claim. Instead, he concocted a similar plan.
When he walked in and tried to claim it, they're like,
hello.
I'm suspicious of something. Something feels weird about that you're collecting your...
Hello, I'm dead. Money, please.
Money, please.
Hashtag I'm dead, money, please. I'm really forcing the hashtag today, I'm sorry. Anyway, so it didn't work for him, but instead he's like, okay, well, we'll do a similar plan, but this time we'll use my good buddy, Pretzel.
Where's Pretzel been all this time?
He's been around. He's hanging out. So Pretzel agreed to fake his own death so that he and his wife could collect on the $10,000 life insurance policy, which she was to split with Holmes and the attorney, Jephthah. Right, so they're going to fake his death, and then everybody splits the money. It's a lot of money back then too. Like that's a huge amount of cash.
So it's like $1 million life insurance. Sweet, there's plenty of money for everyone.
Yeah, and so everybody's going to really make a good money, make a good living from it.
Oh, I feel like that Holmes is going to swindle this in his favour somehow.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
So the scheme, which was to take place in Philadelphia, was that Pretzel would set himself up as an inventor under the name B.F. Perry, and then be killed and disfigured in a lab explosion. And Holmes was going to find an appropriate cadaver to play the role of Pretzel. Right?
So he's going to
I reckon I'd use Pretzels. And I bet you... What do you reckon? Is there any more appropriate cadaver
for Pretzel
than Pretzel?
You're spot on. He murdered Pretzel.
Yes.
But I don't understand. They created a fake identity as well?
They created a fake identity instead of...
Yeah, but hold on.
Hello, I'm an inventor.
If you're going to invent a fake identity, why does it have to be you? You could just invent this identity, then get the body, and then just call it, that body, that was David Jones. Can we have the insurance we brought out on David Jones?
I guess they needed to see him alive for some reason, but I kind of agree with you there, Dave.
Like I said at the beginning, there are a lot of questions in this story.
Sorry. Anyway, so...
I don't understand
was
it
Matt
either.
right? What happened in the lab explosion?
He, instead of going and finding a body and disfiguring, he's like, I'm just going to kill Pretzel instead. So he did. He murdered him. He knocked him unconscious.
He said to Pretzel, there's the body. And Pretzel's like, where? And he's like, there. And he's pointing at him, and then he hit him over the head.
That's chilling.
Yeah.
He knocked him unconscious with chloroform and then set his body on fire.
Oh, no. That is awful.
You've got to stop trying to give yourself a catchphrase there, buddy. No. You did it one time and it was funny. Let it go.
You guys have been saying it off mic all night.
Jess really no-ended you there.
But so, just to recap, chloroform, he's not dead from the chloroform.
He's dead from being set on fire.
Oh, that is really awful.
And so then Holmes proceeds to collect the insurance payout on the basis of the genuine body of his friend Pretzel.
Oh, look, there it is.
But Holmes then went on to manipulate Pretzel's unsuspecting wife into allowing 3 of her 5 children, Alice, Nellie and Howard, to be in his custody. And the eldest child and the baby remained with Mrs. Pretzel, who doesn't know her husband is dead.
Where do they think Pretzel is?
Yeah, hiding in London. He's told them they're hiding in London, and then he and the 3 Pretzel children travel through northern United States and into Canada, and simultaneously he's escorting Mrs. Pretzel along a parallel route, all while using various aliases and lying to Mrs. Pretzel concerning her husband's death. So he's saying he's just he's in hiding in London, and we're gonna meet up with him at some point.
But they're traveling together? No. Parallel route.
He's like sending her one way, and he's going a different way with 3 of her children. It doesn't make any sense why this is happening, all the while still maintaining whichever wife he's living with now. I don't even remember which one it is.
Oh, so the wife has just adopted these 3 kids with him?
No, she's got no idea about the 3 kids.
Oh, she's back home.
She's back home.
Why is she not worthy of death? Why? It's so weird that he's falling. That's just real love. Oh, so the other one... Yeah, I didn't even consider that. I thought he was actually falling in love, but he's...
No, I think that he's a manipulative bastard.
You don't marry someone just for... Oh, no. You got to marry for love, whatever your name is now.
Yeah, none of us know.
HH.
HH. So that's terrifying. So even like, it's really strange. But in Detroit, just prior to entering Canada, Mrs. Pretzel is only a few blocks away from where he's also staying with 3 of her children. She doesn't know where her children are, but at one point they were only a matter of blocks away from each other.
Guys, what are we up to with the body count?
We're really not sure, to be honest.
I reckon it's past all other episodes combined.
What have you got? Let's start counting now. Dave, give me a number.
Will there be a body count at the end? Like a suspected number of victims?
Oh, yeah.
You and I, Matt, will take a guess each, right?
Okay,
yeah, that'd
great.
be really fun.
Alright.
Although, again,
That will be really fun.
it's a bit undisputed.
Undisputed.
It's a bit
Undisputed murder of the
disputed.
world.
It's a bit disputed.
I am undisputed.
Now, Holmes's murder spree finally ended when he was arrested in Boston on November 17 in 1894
Pig swindling.
after
On
being
his daddy's farm.
tracked there from Philadelphia by the Pinkertons. Have you ever heard of the Pinkertons?
It's a family of pigs.
I looked this up. This is kind of interesting, actually.
No, I don't know them.
Pinkerton, founded as the Pinkerton National Detective Agency, is a private security guard and detective agency established in the United States by Alan Pinkerton in 1850. And Pinkerton became famous when he claimed to have foiled a plot to assassinate President-elect Abraham Lincoln, who later hired Pinkerton agents for his personal security during the Civil War. So they're like this like super cool
Pinkerton.
detective agency.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so
There's a Weezer album named Pinkerton.
maybe that's where it's from.
I reckon it might be.
So the police had been suspicious of Holmes ever since his former cellmate, Marion, started talking. Right, so he was sort of talking to the police about this guy.
Right, and was he bragging to Marion about his murders?
Yeah, no, but Marion kind of dobbed on him because he never paid him the $500 that he promised him.
See, no honour among thieves.
Yeah, so he didn't. He never paid up. So as payback, Marion shared the information with the police about he's a dodgy insurance claim that he's going to make. So they're kind of a little bit suspicious of him anyway. Now, while they initially had very little evidence to convict him with, they did have his outstanding warrant for stealing a horse in Texas. So they arrest him on that basis, and he was terrified of being sent back to Texas, apparently, where the punishment would be rough and ready. And he confessed to the insurance scam. Rough and ready is apparently what he said. I don't really know, but he didn't want to go back to Texas because he was going to be punished. So he confessed to the insurance scam, but not the murder of Pretzel. He claimed that he'd gotten a body from a doctor in New York who shipped it to Philadelphia, where he was living at the time.
That's a much more believable story.
And using his medical knowledge to fit the body into a trunk. And he actually nearly got away with that story, but then the inspector remembered that when the body was first discovered, it was in full rigor mortis, meaning the person had died recently. So the inspector asked what technique Holmes had learned to stiffen a body after rigor mortis had been broken. And he didn't have the answer for it, so the game was up.
They got him!
How clever is that, though? They're like, oh, really? Well, he'd been shipped here. Well, I didn't know you could put a body back into rigor mortis when it's out of rigor mortis. Mic drop.
Tism had an album called De Rigor Mortis.
There you go. Well, maybe he was a Tism fan.
Was that named after Pinkerton?
Probably. Right, so then the police began interviewing the employees at the castle, like the hotel back in
Who
Chicago.
was left?
Yeah. Now, the caretaker was a guy called Pat Quinlan. He informed police that he was never allowed to clean the second floor. So they're like, well, this seems dodgy. So they begin this thorough investigation over the course of a month, and they uncover all of the torture chambers and secret passageways on the upper floor. Inside a large stove on the third floor, they found a piece of gold chain, women's hair, and a woman's shoe. Now, suspecting that the chain belonged to Minnie Williams...
That was a terrible meal.
Yeah. No nutritional value whatsoever.
Oh, God.
So they think this might belong to Minnie, so they took it to a local jeweller who had sold jewellery to Minnie in the past, and he confirmed that it was hers. So she died in an oven of some kind. Ugh. Then the police...
he was torturing them as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it wasn't...
There was also a room, a hanging room, where he would just hang them.
That's just where we hung out in between murders.
The hanging room. I mentioned the hanging room in 5.
If you say yes to that offer, you're an idiot.
Yeah, massive idiot. The police, they later looked inside Holmes's office vault and found several scratch marks and marks of what appeared to be a woman's shoe. He later stated in his confession that the shoe print in the vault came from Annie Williams during her violent struggle before she died. When the police finished on the upper floors, they moved their investigation down into the basement, and there they found a pile of human bones mixed with animal bones, a dissection table covered with dry blood, and a pile of bloody women's clothes. Bloody women's clothes. Everywhere. They leave them everywhere.
They leave them all over the bloody basement.
So he wasn't even clean. It's just dry blood everywhere. He didn't even clean up after himself.
I love that makes you...
That
makes it grosser than if
okay,
he was
this
cleaning.
is like the time you had to have a whole new crematorium built for you because you just didn't like the idea of anybody else's dust being mixed up in yours.
It still freaks me out.
Okay, well, what freaks me out is he didn't clean up the blood on the dissection table.
Okay.
Okay? Horses for courses. We all have our thing.
If you can say one thing about Jess, is that she likes her serial killers clean.
I do. I like them tidy. Anyway. Now, the investigators dug up the lime pits and found skeletal remains of Holmes's victims. The lime had turned most of the remains into dust, but they identified 2 strands of hair, one brown and one fair, in 2 spots in the clay, and the strands matched the respective hair colours of Minnie and Annie Williams. So they sort of found their bodies. Investigators also found a pile of lime with female footprint on it. They suspected that the footprint came from Minnie, and they also looked inside the acid pit and found several bones at the bottom. One part of the basement, investigators unearthed several bones belonging to a child, estimated to be 6 to 8 years old, who maybe we can assume is Pearl, Julia's daughter. Matt's just getting so sad.
This is fucked.
They also found a dress that they suspected had belonged to Julia, and they showed it to her former husband, and he confirmed it was hers. So it's pretty fucked. 3 firemen later explored a nearby tunnel that led from the basement to the street, and the tunnel ended in a hollow-sounding wall. And after the firemen had torn it down, a plumber lit a match just to be able to see, so he lit a match for light.
Oh, dear.
And accidentally caused an explosion powerful enough to shake the whole building.
Oh, what happened to the fireman and the plumber?
Well, several of the men were injured and had to be taken to hospital, but I don't think anybody died. They were just injured. And afterwards, investigators found that the fumes that caused the explosion were coming from an oil tank hidden behind the wall. Right? And Holmes, he had no explanation for the oil tank. There was no reason for that, but the chemists who examined the oil stated that the fumes were strong enough to kill someone in less than a minute. So Holmes later stated that the bodies that were found in the basement were bought from a man who stole them from a local cemetery, but he could name neither the man nor the cemetery.
Oh. So what was he doing with that oil? No one knows.
Nobody knows. There's no explanation for it. And that's the problem. He changed his story so often, and and he was known for lying, that there's no solid answers for some of these questions.
A liar too. Well.
Well,
What a
that's
big
tipped
surprise.
it over the edge, matey.
Oh, okay, we're towards the end now, if that makes you feel any better.
Hopefully he's not going to kill again from now, right?
No, he's done.
I'm pretty glad that he... I thought when you said at the start that it was a sad end, was he was going to die a happy old man in a nursing home, with 3 wives.
3 beautiful wives.
And
2 of which are still alive, and a third just a bucket of bones, which he jerked off into every evening. Or something. Like a real idyllic retirement. But
jerking off into a bucket of bones.
yeah, that was a fuck thing to say. You've changed me today, Jess.
Today.
You did this to me.
You
You made me do this.
So he's sitting in prison in Philadelphia now. He's confessed to the insurance scam, and there's all these different investigations happening into, firstly the castle, but they're also looking into the Philadelphia police are trying to unravel the pretzel situation. In particular,
Unravel the pretzel.
in particular, they're trying to find these 3 children that are missing that he had custody of. So Alice, Nellie, and Howard.
Oh, yeah, what happened to them?
There's a detective called Detective Geyer, and he was tasked with finding answers. And his quest for the children, much like the search for Holmes's castle in Chicago, received a lot of publicity. So, the story of him searching for these children got quite a bit of publicity. And his eventual discovery of their remains essentially sealed Holmes's fate, at least in the public mind. So it's kind of he's a bad guy because he found their remains.
Wait, that was... They'd
'cause there was
already
no
found
proof
his
before.
torture chamber.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So
That could have just...
That could have been anything.
He didn't know it was there.
I do have how the children were killed, but I might skip that.
Thank you.
Okay. There is one... No, okay, I'll leave it.
Let's just imagine the worst thing possible, and it's probably worse.
Yep, pretty much.
Ugh.
So in October of 1895, Holmes was put on trial for the murder of Benjamin Pretzel, and was found guilty and sentenced to death.
Oh, so he killed Pretzel as well.
Yeah, he did that ages ago. Remember, for the insurance fraud. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
insurance scam.
sorry. There's just so many deaths
know.
and so many weird names.
Yeah.
It's actually been very difficult to keep up.
It has been. I'm
so
sorry.
he was convicted of that and sentenced to death.
Sentenced to death. By then, it was also evident that he had murdered the Pretzel children, and following his conviction, he confessed to 30 murders in Chicago and Toronto, although some that he confessed to murdering were in fact still alive. So he said, like, oh yeah, I killed this person, killed this person, killed this person. So he's lying. He's like full of shit.
Ah.
So that's why at one point he confesses to about 27 murders. Then right as they're about to hang him, he's like, I only killed 2 people. Bang, gone. And it doesn't make any sense. It's so strange.
But they did hang him.
They did hang him, but before that he was paid $7,500, which today would be about $215,000, by the Hearst newspapers in exchange for his confession. But he gave various contradictory accounts of his life, initially claiming innocence and later that he was possessed by Satan. And his propensity for lying made it difficult for researchers to sort of get the truth. That's what I mean when I say there's lots of questions. We still don't have a lot of the answers because then nobody knows exactly what was happening. Now, while writing his confessions in prison, Holmes mentioned how drastically his facial appearance had changed since his imprisonment. He described his new grim appearance as gruesome and taking a satanical cast, and wrote that he was now convinced that after everything he'd done, he was beginning to resemble the devil. Isn't that weird? There's actually a quote from him I got down here where he says, "I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer. No more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing. I was born with the evil one standing..."
He's thinking singer.
Oh, he's confused poet singer right there.
And also, like, I mean, nobody really loves poetry, but it's not murder. He said, "I was born with the evil one standing as my sponsor beside the bed where I was ushered into the world, and he has been with me ever since." Creepy. On May 7th, 1896, Holmes was hanged at the Philadelphia County Prison for the murder of Benjamin Pretzel. Until the moment of his death, Holmes remained calm and amiable, showing very few signs of fear. Despite this, he asked for his coffin to be contained in cement and buried 10 feet deep because he was concerned grave robbers would steal his body and use it for dissection.
Oh, and he knows how fucked up that is.
Exactly. What a hypocrite. He's like, no, don't do anything weird to my body.
That is strange. If he was going to say, because I'm afraid that the devil in me will like bring me back to life and I'll kill again, then I'll be like, oh, good on you, mate. But
no, it's just like, oh, don't touch my body. Yuck.
That's gross.
I don't know if this will make you feel better or not. I'm not sure if this is good. Matt's been very quiet. I feel like I need to give Matt a big hug later. But
look, this guy's mate. I just wish he was still alive so I could
kick him in the nuts.
Just have a stern word to him.
Oh.
And tell him it's not on, buddy.
Cut it out.
Buster, this is no good. You know, you're not making any friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, not long term. Where do you want me to go? Oh, yeah, I'll sign this. All right, make it out to HH. Good.
No worries.
And, yeah, no worries. You want my... yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Really, mate, you're an interesting guy. And I think I misjudged you. Yeah, it's probably good
It's probably the best that he's dead. Yep. This is kind of weird. His neck didn't snap when they hung him. Instead, he was strangled to death, twitching for over 15 minutes before being pronounced dead 20 minutes after the trap had been sprung.
Well, couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
So weird. Very weird. I do have some
fun facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to your spin on making the end of this fun.
I just meant like a kind of wrap up. Is this too fucked?
No, I've enjoyed myself a lot. You bloody watch Law and Order SVU and it's worse than this. It's all right. Matt, you don't watch Law and Order
Matt won't
Special
look me in the
Victims
eye anymore. Maddie, it's not me. I'm just telling a story. It's just a human psyche.
Remember, it's made up. Pretzel? You really think that one's called Pretzel?
Come on.
No, good point.
Clara Lovering?
Come on. None of these.
Murder. Murta Belknap? Come on.
Belknap.
Pulling your bloody leg.
All right.
All right.
This has made me feel all the emotions, mainly angry and sad, but
But all of them.
all of them.
But remember
all
that
of
time I
those
laughed
two.
for a solid minute?
That was pretty good. Jeez, it started out bright.
Didn't it?
My life's gonna feel like there were two parts,
Aww.
before and after this episode.
Well, you probably felt that way after the cremation episode
Yeah,
as well.
I
and
felt a bit sad about it.
We've recovered since then.
And now it's one of my favourites. On March 7th in 1914, this is quite a while later, the Chicago Tribune reported that with the death of Pat Quinlan, who was the former caretaker of the murder castle.
I'm just imagining him like as a butler. Was he a butler?
I don't know. Yeah, let's say yes.
Cool.
He's just kind of a caretaker. He sort of, I don't know, watered the pot plants. So once he had died, they sort of said that the mysteries of Holmes's castle would remain unexplained because he was sort of gone. He was like that last connection. But sadly, Quinlan had committed suicide by taking strychnine, and his body was found in his bedroom with a note that read, "I couldn't sleep." Quinlan's surviving relatives claimed that he had been haunted for several months and was suffering from hallucinations. I'm imagining for him, for some reason, still living there, but he wouldn't have been, so that didn't make any sense in my head. But yeah, so it was very, very rough on him.
Fun fact number one
Fun
right there.
Somebody killed themselves. Fun
Because they
fact.
couldn't sleep.
Because of the haunting, awful things they'd seen.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So did he
No,
was
no,
he was
no.
aware?
I don't think he was, no.
Oh man,
But that would be just as bad, though, wouldn't
so-
it? Like,
But obviously, once the story came out, he would have been aware. And then
yeah,
he
obviously,
would have
it's
gone.
psychologically thing.
Oh, a
Oh.
lot of things now make sense.
Yeah, so-
totally.
When he
That's all
when
I
he asked me to grease the death machine,
I thought it was a euphemism.
Yeah, so it's pretty fucked. Now, what's interesting is the murder castle was mysteriously gutted by fire in August of 1895.
Oh, the year after he died.
Ooh, yeah. Now, according to a newspaper clipping from the New York Times, 2 men were seen entering the back of the castle between about 8 and 9 p.m. About half an hour later, they were seen exiting the building and running away, and several explosions happened and the castle went up in flames.
Still unexplained.
Yeah, so a bit interesting.
so there'd be. I imagine there are two options there. One of them is that they fucking hated it, that freaked them out, and they just wanted to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other was that they were somehow involved, right?
Well, that was exactly what people thought. Some people sort of believed that they'd broken into the castle and started the fire in order to destroy any remaining evidence that the police hadn't discovered yet. And other people believed that some outraged citizens started the fire to prevent the castle from becoming a future tourist attraction.
Oh, both make sense.
Yeah, so it was gutted. The building survived, but like everything inside was fine, and it remained in use until it was torn down in 1938.
What city was this? Is in Chicago.
Chicago. There's a few.
What I know about Chicago:
The Windy City.
Windy City, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Kill Hotel.
The top 5.
That's what you need to know. Everything you need to know about Chicago.
And
O'Hare International Airport.
one of the big porn guys. What's the big porn guy?
Ron Jeremy.
No, like
Was it only porns?
Playboy guy.
Oh, Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. I think the
big
Playboy's
porn guy.
I think
You couldn't think of Playboy, but you
I
could
think-
think of big porn guy.
yeah, I could think of a vague description.
What do you say?
Playboy.
What do you say
Playboy.
about Playboy?
That's from Chicago, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that's in Los Angeles. I mean, California.
Yeah, they moved there in the 80s or something.
You full of shit?
No, I watched a documentary about it.
Oh, cool.
Once
Also,
upon a
Was it the housemates of what was that show about his girlfriends?
was it the Real Housewives of Hugh Hefner?
Yeah, what was that called?
Yeah, it was a great show.
It wasn't that. It was just it was on an aeroplane, I think. It was like just one of those really sort of dry stock footage documentaries
Right.
that they must put together for no money.
So good.
I think Chicago also has O'Hare International Airport, which is the world's busiest airport.
Is it really?
Because it's the second biggest city. Oh, it's also second city.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Improv.
Well, that kind of ties in nicely to what I was about to say, because there's a few different representations of HH Holmes in various media. So, for example, the Baltimore Rock Opera Society produced and performed a full-length original rock opera based on Holmes,
Oh,
titled Murder Castle. in May 2013. That's pretty good.
Oh, my two favourite things, murder and musical theatre.
No. Rock opera.
Oh.
Even better.
Oh, no.
There was an author called Anthony Boucher, and he used HH Holmes as a pen name during the 1940s for murder mysteries and magazine reviews. Which is kind of interesting, used it as a pen name. In the 5th season of American Horror Story, which aired last year, 2015, it predominantly takes place in a hotel and features a character named James March, who is said to be modelled after Holmes. So, like, they used his story as a plot for the series of American Horror Story. And
My housemates watch that and often don't sleep at night.
yeah, I don't watch it. I don't like scary movies. I probably won't sleep tonight. Now, there's
That's okay.
actually
All right, I forgive you.
there's actually a film being made called Devil in the White City. There's a book written called Devil in the White City. And they're making the film. It's going to be directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really? He's going to be Holmes?
He's going to be Holmes.
Wow. He'll probably do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
When's
So-
that? Is that in production?
I think
do you know
so.
the updates on that?
Well, like it's I saw articles about it very recently, so I think it's kind of in the next few years.
And
maybe?
we'll keep an eye out for it because you heard it here first, guys.
Heard it
What's
first.
it called? Devil.
Devil in the White City. And also on the Wikipedia page for HH Holmes, it also mentions that he's the topic in a few podcasts. So I think
Oh, so we're cashing in.
we now need to somehow we need
Somehow
to
get
edit,
a Wikipedia page.
we need to edit that Wikipedia page and be like, he's also on episode 36. Are we up to 36?
It's one of my
36
dreams
of
because I love
Do Go
Wikipedia. I love Wikipedia so much. It's one of my dreams to one day have a page.
Okay.
Like, oh man, it's because
Just-
I love it.
As far as
Did you know that you exist?
achievable dreams, I reckon that's one you could just knock up yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, but it
easy.
gets taken. No, I would never, because I respect Wikipedia so much. I would never do that.
Sure.
I'd like to earn my page.
Okay. That, gentlemen, was my report on HH Holmes.
Wow, that was quite the journey. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, and just to tie it all together, so he admitted to like about 30 murders and then took it back. They think it may have actually been closer to 200. I just wanted to look at Matt's face.
200.
They suspect some say 100, some say 150, up to 200 is sort of the guess. But again, no official confirmations because the bodies were just in bits.
And you know how it work, like populations work, where you wipe out 200 people, like the amount of potential people who'd be alive now, a couple hundred years later, he basically took away. That he probably did the world a lot of favors because overpopulation, that sort of stuff.
You have really done a 180.
Look, I'm just saying, I'm just looking for a silver lining here.
Silver knife into your guts.
Yeah.
Imagine being Leonardo DiCaprio. He's going to have to, isn't he one of those actors who really does the research?
A method actor.
Embodies them. I don't know if he's method, but
No,
but he definitely, you'd have to research a lot. And just to be that guy. And they say being a good actor, as you would know, Jess, you have to find something in the guy, in the character to
connect with.
Don't you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You've seen my acting.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Make me feel like murdering a bunch of people, am I right?
My comedy will make you want to go on a killing spree. Anyway, let's wrap it up and go home to our families if they're still there.
Well, thanks for listening. Let's do another shout out to our favourite serial killer fan, Cody.
Cody, please be cool.
Yeah, be okay in your life, Cody. But no, great topic because it is fascinating.
I know, I actually
bet
do.
I bet you he found it because of that movie.
Or maybe. Who knows how Cody found it? Cody probably knows how he found
When
it.
I come across, I'd heard of the murder hotel man before.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
impressive. And so had my friend when I was mentioning last night that I was doing this report.
Because I also understand the fascination. I get a bit.
I love it.
I read into these things, but then I do it alone at night, and I
Yeah.
think I wish I hadn't read that before bed.
Yeah.
So it's fun to joke about it with friends, and hopefully I'll drive home, forget about it, and sleep all night.
Is it fun to do in a big, dark, empty warehouse?
Oh no!
Can you guys walk me to my car?
Yes, because it's just out the front. See it from the door. Thank God.
It's parked next to your car. We'll be okay.
Well, thanks so much for listening, guys. If you would like to have us talk about your favourite serial killer, don't forget that you can tweet in at DoGoOnPod or on Facebook or email. We're getting a lot of lovely emails. I'd like to do a big shout out to Fergal in Ireland, who's been doing it a bit tough lately and has been founding a lot of fun in our podcast, which was one of the nicest emails we've ever read, right, guys?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
very
best.
sweet.
Thanks, Fergal.
So thank you so much for your email, Fergal.
And you can like us on Facebook as well, and Twitter. And
We
all
try
that
to do a
jazz.
couple of posts every week and always enjoy getting into a
Yeah, so there's always like little...
polite chat with the...
There's always extra little in... No, it is. There's always a little extra in-jokes about that week's episodes and stuff like that, and little maybe callbacks to stuff that you'll get if you've listened to most of the show. So
Check that out.
thank you very, very much, guys. But until next week, take care and goodbye.
Bye.
Later.